everybody, and welcome to another episode of Unsealed and Revealed. Clap! Everybody clap now! Yay! Welcome back! I missed you so much. I'm so excited to be here. We've got another great episode ready for you. Right next to me, I have my best friend in the world, Bree, on the ones and twos, and she is taking your questions, comments, and concerns in the live chat, both on Facebook and on YouTube, so you're going to want to check that out. Also, right over to the side, my man, Guy Klender, 6th scale expert. Guy, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Hell yeah, that's what I like to hear. I'm very excited about this piece that we're going to do. What we have today is the Luke Skywalker 6th scale from Hot Toys from Crait. As we see at the big ending of The Last Jedi, we have Crait Luke right here. We're really excited about that. And Guy, without further ado, why don't you jump over there? Why don't you unbox that thing? Why don't you crack them out?
All right, so right off the bat, it's our shoebox style that we've had before. Great photo of the actual figure. That's what I like is that, you know, and then it looks so realistic, and then you realize it's the toy. So slide the top off, and underneath we're gonna get, again, 2 shots of the figure done as one of the kind of covers, but it's in 2 poses that we can do as well. We'll lift that one off. And then there is the figure himself.
There he is.
There he is.
That's Luke Skywalker.
This is Luke Skywalker.
From Star Wars.
Yeah, from Star Wars. Which one?
It's a movie. Not like the books or anything.
No, not from the books. All right,
Hey,
so, yes.
Why do you have scissors on the table?
We're going to talk a little bit about why I've got some scissors on the table.
Coming up.
Yeah, coming up in
Excellent
just a little
question.
bit, and it has to do with unboxing the figure as well.
And those are 1-to-1 scale scissors, by
Yes,
the way.
yes, those are. So we do have our instructions. Not a ton in them this time, but some safety stuff in there, and we'll go over that as well.
Guy loves him some
I do
directions.
love me some instructions.
It's his favorite part of a 6th
pretty
scale
much
figure.
pretty much my favorite part of it. So once we get him out here, what we're going to have on top is this one here. This arm is the one that has the electronics go through it for the light up feature. You have 2 of the other gloved hands, okay? One gripping and one more of a force push, and then 4 down here that are the flesh hand. Your saber on its own with the removable blade, the action blade of it, and then probably one of my favorite bits is Han Solo's dice.
Oh, he's got the dice.
Yeah, and I have a reason why I'm excited about that. Down here, you're also going to have the 3 batteries that are going to go into said arm, 2 additional wrist pegs. Okay. Let's first look at the arm because we have to lift this out before we lift out.
That's the electric arm.
This is the electric arm. I'm going to put this here on the turntable and discuss it a little bit.
Well, that's just a great piece on it.
Yeah, there you go, just on its own. With this one here, remember that the electronics are running through it. So not like when I'm going to use one of the other hands and I could move the saber around. This is stationary. It's set in there. I'm going to spin around here. Ooh. And in the back there is your compartment for the batteries. This is a quick 3 battery one. Now this is made of a soft, pliable material, and you'll just lift that up.
Ooh, cool.
When you do, Hot Toys has not provided you with one, but it's one I've talked about a lot before, and that's get yourself one of these. Whoops, sorry, I shouldn't have made you pan up that. But one of the little tiny screwdrivers. This one is great. You can find these at most
spots.
Yeah, hardware stores, things like that. That's the only real tool I think you'll need with this one. And again, like I said, it's the soft pliable. Since we've got that out, we're gonna do our light test. All right?
Hey, Guy.
Yes?
The scissors, your right thumb being injured doesn't have anything to do with those scissors, does it?
No. Actually, it's something different. But
oh, that is a bright light. That
yes.
just leaned over to me and it blinded me.
Well, oh boy.
Oh, that's a great shot.
That I should have been. Yes, because it says right here. Well, you're going to look at it now on your screen, folks. But according to this, do not look directly at the LED.
I will 100%.
So that's just a heads up. But that's the lit version. I'm going to take it like so. This is our standard saber that we have with it. We're going to remove the blade. If you've watched Terry's How to Be a Poser, which I suggest you do, he'll talk about when you have things like this. We want to be close to the point.
Close to the point of connection.
Point of connection, particularly with something like this. There's no reason to pull on that. But now, let's...
I'm reckless. I probably would.
You were a wild man.
Oh, that looks good. Look at that.
So,
So cool.
if we could turn down our lights to show you just how bright this is. Again, wonderful camera crew I have that's allows me to
shout out to Brett. On the
allows me
camera.
to do that.
Look at that. That's called the lightsaber.
Yeah, correct.
That's what they call that.
This is
in Star
probably
Wars.
the brightest in all of them that we've had that do the light up. We've looked at Vader and some of the others, and they're not as bright. This blue, really, really vibrant. We can remove this, and we are going to throw on the action one.
I love those ones so much. I've mentioned that before, but
exactly.
I really love the way they came up with it. It's such a simple design, but it really, really works to the sort of dynamic posing process.
And what's neat is that they've been able to do it kind of in a gradient pattern. So you have that kind of brighter light down into kind of more of a smeared out, I think you'd say. So, but that's the light up arm, okay? Thank you. All right. And next, let's pull out the figure himself. And
that's Luke Skywalker.
This is Luke Skywalker. This is our Crait version Luke. All right. Set him on our turntable. And get some shots of our portrait.
That's a good portrait.
This is a great portrait. Now, we've already seen the Luke that is on the island, and he's a bit more weathered. This is that end scene. Hopefully by now you've all seen the movie that we can say it's a force projection of Luke.
Whoa,
Did I ruin it?
Whoa, hey.
Yeah, sorry, a year out. And
Spoiler alert.
You know, if you're buying a toy on something you haven't seen the movie of, congrats. You're great on that. But
thanks for your business.
But he does have a more youthful look, and this is also that scene that we see that is the flashback of Rey being told about that scenario. So I'm gonna spin the character around, but did we get a close up there on the portrait just to show the hair?
It's a stern Luke, and I like
it's
that.
A stern.
He's a here for the.
Correct. He is stern. It's not a pressed lip kind of pose. It actually has the mouth is slightly open. Oh. Just ever so slightly, but it's enough to give it. It's not that, pressed lip, angry style look. But we look at again just how the strands of hair, how tight those are, and to be able to get that. Is just how toys have developed over the last decade or so to be able to get that kind of
this piece
detail.
Looks slightly different than a 1978 Kenner Luke Skywalker.
Yes,
it's just slightly
the beard.
Different. Yeah,
the beard.
It has a beard. That's right.
No, I meant I had a beard now.
Oh, now you have one.
77.
That makes sense.
But anyway, so that's our portrait, and I wanted to show him off, and then we'll work our way down into the outfit. And anything else? Currently, do we have any questions other than the what the heck's with the scissors? And did I injure myself?
We do have a trivia question.
Okay.
Guy, do you know what the white stuff on the ground of Crait is?
Salt.
Impressive.
It is. That is correct.
It is salt.
There's no thinking time at all.
Yes.
Guy, can you use the Force?
No. I once pushed a shopping cart, and it actually went right into one of the shopping cart corral things, but it went around and turned. It'll never do that again. But that was my one and only time, and I wasted my opportunity to use the Force.
I have a question as you're about to be sort of going down. Is that glove? Is that gloved hand? Is the glove removable, or is that hand?
You mean to show the metal?
Yes.
No. It is a fully gloved arm. We're going to show off the articulation and show off the glove right now. Okay. So let's do that.
Love that glove.
Boots articulated.
Yep. We're gonna get that. Boy, they're jumping down to the lower end already. If we get thank you. If we again, a lot of close-ups today. Just on the detail and the texturing of the leather that is in these gloves. It's also been given a bit of weathered.
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
Okay, so you get that the highlights, the lowlights, and just look in the larger portion of it where you're getting that the darker tones, the lighter rubbed areas. Really, really great on those. And you do have that same pose done on the light arm and then 2 of the others, and we'll pull those out with accessories. Now we're gonna work down here and talk about the outfit. We'll talk about the boots and such. What I think was neat about this particular Jedi cloak is it's a split back Jedi cloak.
Yeah. It's a formal cloak.
Yeah, well, I mean, Darth Maul had one kind of like this, but the split back kind of thing is a neat look. We're used to the full-on robe style.
I guess it implies the combat aesthetic.
Yeah.
The practical.
I like that, yeah.
You know, if Maul had one, I mean, obviously.
Yeah,
he did a
exactly.
few flips here and there. So I guess that makes sense.
Yes. Now, the fabric used in this is slightly different than this one on the under tunic. It does have 3 wires, 1 on each of the back halves. This allows you to get kind of more dynamic folds and such in it. Now, however, because you can do that bottom like that, there's not one that runs up. Sorry, let me spin it around. There's not one that runs up the front on either side.
I don't think that's an issue, really.
And
not for
so
what
you're not doing so many things. But the neat part is to just the ability to give it a little more life. Now, the most important wire to me on all these is the one that's up here on the hood. And that is the reason I've pulled out two other things. Tweezers, and the other is the small pairs of scissors. And that is because sometimes with these, once you start to fiddle with it, you may see a loose thread now and then. And if so, give it a little snip. Terry goes over this a little bit in his
And How to Be a Poser.
in his How to Be a Poser series. Now I've used a couple of different ones. I have little tiny curved ones that I use.
I was going to say, lift that one up.
Sorry. But another little tool that I have in the arsenal that is more just for safety is actually little cuticle scissors. And the reason I use that is it has a flat edge on the back. So I can go right to it.
So
Boom.
yeah, it's almost like a wire cutter.
Yep. Yeah. So it's again being precise. And now this particular one, I didn't know if I was going to get loose threads on it, so I had them ready. So that's why they are there.
So it wasn't necessary, but
Wasn't
you have them
necessary,
just in case.
but it's very common in figures like this that are going to have the flowing capes or something like that it might have a loose thread. But again, with the wire allowing for the posability for it.
Yeah, that's
all
a
right.
good vibe.
Now, on the wires on the bottom, you've got 2 layers of fabric, and the wire is down below. This one here just has a little, the single wire, and it's flipped over. And the reason I have the tweezers is sometimes people will say, oh, I don't like that you can see that, the little seam. So what I'll do is, we'll go with an overhead shot, is just kind of tuck. This is, where you get into your little specifics, but you can tuck it.
I mean, that's a pretty impressive decision there to go through that, to make that there. That's why that's why we bring you in,
Yeah,
Guy.
it's something that people have brought up in these figures in the past, and so that's why I kind of wanted to show it off, or show off what I'll do with it. So I love them with the hood up. That's always
You're a hood
I
guy.
mean, the Jedi hoods, we didn't see them too much in the early prequels. So I remember that first time seeing younger Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon and and they were the massive.
Yeah, they had those
Ceremonial
robes.
Yeah, massive hoods, and I thought that was really, really cool. So so I've always liked the hoods on the characters, but we're gonna drape this one back. And again, there. So if I needed to adjust it, like I said, I've turned it, and then you don't see.
That's some tight attention to detail right there.
Don't see any seam. Yeah, well, if I'm about the instructions, I'm probably about the other details.
Is the robe removable?
Is it removable? I was hoping that somebody would ask that.
I'm somebody. I did.
Yeah, and you are. According to the instructions, it says that the outfit is not removable. However, I was able to take the outer robe off.
Okay, so his
So
clothes are, but if you wanted to remove
if you're
the
going
robe.
to do that, and it does tell you in the instructions about when you're going to change the arm out to do it. If you're going to take the cloak off, I take the hands off first, pull the two arms backward, and you can pull it off.
Slide it right off.
You
Yeah.
can slide it right off. Okay. Since we've got that there, we're going to lift up.
Ooh, he's Marilyn Monroeing.
Yes. But we're going to show off. We got a couple fun things we get to do. All right. So the outer belt that has the buckle in the front and has the lightsaber hilt attachment. As you can see, it's got a Velcro there that can be removed.
Ooh.
The one underneath also has Velcro on there.
Oh, it looks like it's a cummerbund.
I think it's really more for positioning, because when I rewatched the different scenes, it does kind of move up and down. So I guess depending on how you wanted to pose it. But according to this, it says don't take off the stuff, so I'm not going to.
Fun fact about this, for any of you people that haven't seen these episodes before, whatever Guy is going to be working on, he will consume the media that it is from
Yes.
the night before. So he watched this film.
I did not know that.
Guy
Actually,
does.
this was I had not seen Last Jedi since it was theatrically released at a midnight show. That was how I saw it. And I hadn't watched it since. I have now done it another 4 times leading up to this figure.
Oh my God.
And it was just because I wanted to see ways in which he moves and how he kind of is when he's this particular one. And we'll talk a little bit about that.
Guy,
Yes.
is there wire on the cape sleeves?
The sleeves? No.
No.
Nope. And why I have this up here, the one raised, is you'll see, I've got a stray thread.
Uh-oh. Get it, Guy.
Get it!
Everyone in the chat really wants you to cut that thread.
Cut that thread.
Scissors in.
There, look at that!
You already did it?
And that's why we do it live.
That was super anticlimactic.
Well, I probably should have held with the tweezers, pulled back, and done a very,
There was a lot of pressure
ER style
with those
thing.
scissors.
But again, that's what what I'm saying with it. It was why I have those. Is if you may have a little loose thread like that. While I've got it up, we're going to work our way down. Talk about the boots and the articulation there, and the articulation at the knee joint. What I like about this, so New Hope, or the original Star Wars, he kind of had the wrap going all the way up. Then in Empire, it's kind of a unique boot clasped together. Jedi, we see him, and he's got the shiny black leather boots. Now it's, he's not really pleased with the life of the Jedi, and it's as though he's gone back in leather form to his original style.
He's going to go back in his leather.
And I like that. I mean, even to the point that the understitching on it is there. You can remove the feet.
You just
We're going
remove
to.
the feet?
Yep. We're going to remove it for a couple of reasons, to show that that boot is a throwback to his original shoe.
Hey, while I have you there,
Yes.
we are wondering what's going on with them treads.
Yes, exactly.
What's
That's why I had
going
to,
on there?
that's
Let's
why I
get a
had it up.
tread watch.
Textured.
Guy, can you see dirt on the boots? Is there dirt on the boots?
It's they've given it a bit of a weathering. Whether or not they've really tried to go for an aged versus a dirt look, I'm not quite sure. But here's what I wanted you to see: that it is the ball joint down on the base of the foot, and it also allows the upper wraps to be moved up and down. Anytime I would be moving the foot, that's what I would do, is lift them up a little bit. So I'm going to lift a bit before I move and switch. Yes, sir.
Guy, can I do a quick interruption real quick?
Not at all. Please do.
I was thinking Star Wars. I have a Star Wars thing.
Yes.
And I was like, we should have somebody come by and say hi while we're doing this. So I'd like to introduce somebody to just stop in and say hi. If he wants to come on over, come on. I think you might want to and just say hi.
This is the
Come
greatest
on
moment of
over.
our
Come
show
have a seat.
ever.
We don't get guests very often, so I would love to have that on. Just to say hi, not to put you too much on the spot, but just to sit here and say hello.
To figure out who you're talking to.
Guy and then Bree and everybody back home. Drew Struzan stopping by to say hi. One of my all-time favorite artists. Super excited to have you here. So.
Well, I ain't painting today.
Yeah, well, we're painting magic here.
I see
With
that.
this Luke
yeah.
Skywalker, but we saw you coming by, and we figured we'd like to say, so if you want to say hi to everybody before we.
Hi
let
to
you-
everybody. All the cameras.
You can point to any camera you want. You are, I
see
don't know
that.
if you knew this,
Yeah.
you are Drew Struzan. So
Yes.
you
Yeah.
can literally,
Ladies
you,
and
you want a
gentlemen,
camera? You can take a
the,
camera if you want.
Before
Free
I
camera.
collected
You're
action
allowed to
figures,
do
I
that.
collected this
Can we
guy's
do
art.
that? No? That's fair. Well, thank you so much for coming by.
Thanks.
You are such an inspiration to everybody out there, and hopefully everybody enjoyed this. I'm so excited we got to have somebody stop by, so thank you so much.
This is awesome.
Somebody, you want?
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you for
thank
my
you.
childhood. I appreciate that very much, too.
Well, there's envelopes outside.
Oh. Yeah.
Much like Indiana Jones, he's never without his satchel.
I like that. That's
And I love it. And I absolutely love it.
I'm going to bring Bree back in here.
Well, when I painted
I'm
him,
gonna retrace my steps.
Harrison knew
I like
every
when
time I
things-
painted him that wasn't his body. And when we met, he said, "Thanks for the body."
I like that. So you gave Harrison Ford that beach bod that we've all been chasing now.
Yes. It was your body was used for the Temple of Doom poster, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was,
That's a lot of. That's,
all of them. I love it.
Thank you so much, Drew
Thank you
Struzan,
so
for
much.
stopping by. It
Take
means
care.
the world to us that you came by. That is what
That
we
was
call
awesome.
legitimacy.
Wow.
That's right. So that being said, you were talking about shoes before
Yeah,
one of your heroes stopped in to say hi?
I'm a very emotional individual. Anybody who's seen me,
You gonna
weep
cry?
at
Are you gonna
ET and
cry,
stuff,
Guy?
No.
Welcome to-
not now because
Unsealed
I
and Bullied.
did see that Drew was here earlier, and I had my weep about 25 minutes ago. I didn't know he was coming by my show, so that's kind of the coolest thing ever. We're not going to top that for a bit there, folks, but.
I think
kind of a big deal.
talking about this
Yes, but this
six-scale
is-
Luke Skywalker
this'll
Crait
do
from
it.
Hot Toys' boots is equally
yes.
as exciting as having Drew Struzan come by.
Yes. So let's get back to articulation and the boots on the figure and such. So we've got forward bend. And again, like I said, when I'm going to be posing these, I would lift up, and it does have that, the rubber that is the leather wrapping can be moved, and then pull it down into place. Okay?
Oh.
If I'm going to move it to the side and kind of tweak the ankle a bit and then move it down. Okay?
Can I make a request?
Yes.
Show me them treads. We didn't get to the treads
Oh,
much, did
yes.
we?
We did, but
We did, but it was
I don't
exciting.
know. Did anything happen to make it a little bit?
I think we were all a little like.
We were
distracted.
we were starstruck.
You
As
were
we should be.
starstruck. I was a professional.
Yes.
It is.
Look at that.
I wasn't on camera, so I had time to use my
Oh,
cloth
so
to dry
that
my
tread
eyes.
is great. It's got the crosshatch.
Yep,
tread.
crosshatch tread. While we've got it down there, we'll take a look at the posability. All right, we got a pretty darn good spread on how wide we can get it and keep flat-footed.
Wow, that's good. That's some Jedi standing right there.
Yes.
Guy, can you stand with your feet that far apart?
No, not for camera. That would be awkward for a whole lot of reasons. But if you'd like us to do a standing episode, we can do a standing
No, we
desk
can't.
episode.
No, we're not going to do that.
We're not going to, not today. But we will talk a little bit about leg articulation and then wasting up on the rest of the articulation. So we did talk about the ankle. We're getting that huge amount of articulation in the double knee
this
joint.
is great. I love this with these pieces.
This is a neat one to be able to do.
neat because it's a knee.
Yeah. Oh,
Get it?
yes.
It's a need.
I really needed you to do that.
Splay out. I mean, it's kind of an odd ballet position, but again, you can rotate leg outward. Okay.
Guy, we have a question for you.
Yes.
Do you have any suggestions for helping with loose feet in your 6-scale figures?
Loose. Is this a particular figure, if they ask, or are they just
He
meaning?
did not name the figure.
Oh,
but I think he's looking for.
Huh.
solutions. Do you have any?
Yeah. I mean, if it's one like this that is a ball jointed, you could try a little bit of the tape that's used it's called plumber's tape. That is for threads in between. You could try a little bit of that because it's something that you could pull off if you need it. It's not going to adhere.
It's not like a putty or something.
Correct. It's not going to adhere like a tape, but it's micromillimeters thin, so that might give you a little bit stiffer if you need it. But I think I'd have to ask which toy it was specifically. But that would be something you could do if you had one really wobbly joint like that.
Excellent.
Guy.
But all right, so then
These feet are great.
these
joints
are great. But I understand what you mean. I understand the need for it. Okay, so front mobility on leg, we can go to about there. And again, anytime you're posing, if you're feeling resistance,
So if he needs to force kick somebody,
yeah,
on
you
a
can force
sail
kick.
barge.
And ooh, look at that, spin it out. Whoa!
Oh man.
So, but again, quite a bit of posability in that there. I have had people saying, "Oh no, the waist isn't articulated." No, it is. It is. They have actually padded the chest a little bit, right around where the belt is. Let me put the robe down here. But in this area here, they've actually added a little bit of padding.
Oh, great.
Okay, but I still have my articulation point. I can still turn the body.
It's hard to tell that you're turning the body because of the robe.
Mm-hmm.
Can I make an awkward request of having you? Yeah, thank you.
Yep. When we're working on those, we'll lift the robe up, but
Yeah, like
I can turn the waist if need be. Okay, can completely turn the waist, and it is articulated that I can have it bend at the waist as well.
it's doing the trunk rotation.
Yeah, trunk rotations, which you do a lot. All that boxing.
I've been taking a lot of
lot
yoga
of classes.
and things like that. and I
You
am
have
rotating
been
that
working
trunk.
working it. Now up to the next joints, which are going to be our shoulder joint.
This is a very impressive piece as far as articulation is
Yep.
concerned. That he's getting it it's getting really high up there.
Yep. Yeah, and this is one that kind of the scuttlebutt a little bit on the internet was that he wasn't very articulated. And the fact is, I'm not seeing that at all.
Yeah, like that doesn't make
particularly,
sense to me.
And well, I think there was probably because it's a padded waist. They were. Oh, I'm not sure that I can actually move that.
That's if you want him going in for a hug.
Yes, this is
like a
maybe
stern hug.
there was that moment with Kylo. He really just wanted to hug him.
Yeah.
But again, we got the shoulders up.
Haunt a graveyard, depending on
So
how the
okay,
hand
yes,
is.
okay. Well, then put the hood up.
There
If
you
you're
go.
okay, that's haunt the graveyard or rocking at a metal show.
Ooh, that's old man
That's
Skywalker.
rocking at a metal show. How did you get me off base?
How did I do that? That's what I do.
That's what it is. And it's why I absolutely love doing this show with you. That and the fact that Drew Struzan came to our show.
Yeah, I don't know if you knew this, but Drew Struzan came by.
Yes. That was when I passed out on the floor for a moment, right?
I do recall that. I do recall that. I'm going to need you
Yes.
to do me a favor. And I was going to ask it before, but you did something else that was fine. I'm going to request that you remove that robe while you're doing some of these things.
You want to remove the robe?
I
Okay.
think because when we're talking about the body and we're talking about the articulation,
Okay.
there's no sense in having an all-encompassing robe covering up the things that we want to show off.
All right.
And you can show people also how you do that.
Right. Okay. Overhead camera, please. All right. If we're going to do this, we're going to raise each of the arms up, pull back on the cloth. I'm going to remove said hand on this side and do the same on this side here. Set those off to the side. I'm going to take and rotate one arm back.
Guy, are you happy with the rubber brown belt?
It's fine. It's fine. I'm sure there's question about why isn't it leather, I don't have an answer as to why it's not, but it isn't, and I'm okay with it.
The sheen on it looks leathery.
Yeah,
I've
the
noticed,
sheen on
like,
it-
especially under the lights, it has
Yeah.
so like in that regard, like, are you touching the belt a lot? Like,
Yeah,
you know, like,
yeah. I
is it
mean,
really-
it has the right look. Since we've got the thing off, we're gonna throw it up here on the turntable.
So people are saying it's a real tragedy that Luke lost another hand.
Oh man, what a show! What an incredible show!
Guy's just beaming.
Yeah, I know.
You're on such a high right now.
Yeah, I'm
I love
zipping.
it.
For those of my friends who are watching the show who know how I feel about it, you are all incredibly shocked that I'm not red-faced and weepy. I will be after the show. Let's take a look at the belt, if we can get a zoom in there. Okay, this is not just a solid plastic piece. It is given, paint and such to give it give it texture and the leather look. Since we've got them there, we're going to take our saber. Whoopsie, I need to hold it hard. That's right there. You'll see underneath we've got the little
Oh, he's got the little hook.
a little hook. And
That's his lightsaber.
thank you. So waiting for that. So waiting for that. Okay, so we can obviously display him with the saber on the belt. Okay. Let's talk articulation in arm joints. We already showed it up. We're gonna have a very full bend there. If I need to put the hand back on to show, I can. But large amounts of movement. Go on, say hey, Macarena.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, but you wanted to.
Macarena.
You can't do that.
Thank
We get
you.
sued. Don't do that.
Thank you.
That was a song that I made up.
Oh, I love that
Yes.
song you made up.
Yeah, she made that up.
Hey Jeff,
Yes.
who would be your dream guest to have on this show?
On this show right now.
Right now, right here.
For this one, I mean, if we're ever doing likeness stuff, my dream guest would be to have the character that we're doing. So, like, it would be great having Mark Hamill here to discuss, like, hey, watch this man play with a mini you while we talk about it. So, whenever we do that, like if we were doing a Darth Maul piece, I'd love to have Ray Park and Sam Witwer here. Ian McDermott if we were doing a
Yeah.
Palpatine. Like anybody, my dream guests match to whomever, whatever character we're doing.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, like
Yes.
that to me, just because I think it would add a new layer of what we are talking about in that situation. And then when we talk about like just who dream guests of anything, I have certain writers, artists, and actors that, Dan Slott, if we were doing a Spider-Man, anything with Spider-Man, I'd like a Dan Slott or Christos Gage would be great or something like that. How about you?
That's a very thorough answer.
Well, I read it on the screen earlier and was preparing that answer.
My dream guest is always here. His name is Guy.
Oh, wow.
He is a host.
Yes.
He's always here.
Yes.
I appreciate that about him.
So you don't have to worry about it. All right, so I swapped out some hands while we've got the outer cloak off. And we're going to leave the outer cloak off for now while we look a little bit more at the figure. So we've got our force hand. Wow, I really like that. I mean, the life in the eyes, too. Again,
Yeah.
the eyes will always make a figure. They'll always make the character come to life, and it really is.
That's a great pose.
It really is in this one here. The other pose that people are going to want to do, and they've given you a special hand for it, is the brush off the shoulder.
No, look at that.
Okay, they've given you the brush off the shoulder hand for it as well. All right. Now we're going to get into a couple of other things that he comes with, and I'm curious to see if anybody will want to discuss them. And that is our figure base. And our figure base this time is quite unique in that it's, again, scene specific. There's the word I can't use. I know on Chat Cave they were asking people about words they can't say. That was the one.
What's
so
that? Scene specific.
Specific. I botched that up.
Mine's the swears. I'm not allowed to say them.
Oh, okay.
I can't say them.
So let's take a look at this base. Okay, with this base,
This rebel base.
you.
Oh, I just.
Now
got
you.
it.
Now she got it. Now she got it. Let's take a look at it. What we're getting is again, like I said, scene specific. Little texturing on the front.
Yeah.
See, can
Why
I
don't you
angle
tilt
it?
that at the...
There we go. So you can see that it's actually reddish and textured even on the base part of it. Okay, all the way around, given that red earthed,
It looks official.
and then with the salt on top.
Because they're in crate.
Correct.
Good job,
Correct.
Bree.
Thanks, guys.
And then on the front, we have our chrome plate with our Luke Skywalker.
That base is looking pretty salty.
Yeah, oh,
That comes from
bazinga.
that.
Bazinga. Waka waka. But let's take a look at how we can look on it.
That's Luke
You're not-
Skywalker from Star Wars.
Yes, that is Luke from Star Wars.
You're getting a lot of people admiring your pose.
Oh, well, thank you, folks. Now, let's see here if we can. Sometimes I'll tweak it to kind of cover.
This is going to be the next 40 minutes of the show. This guy
Is-
trying
is-
to perfect that.
Is it?
pose.
Well, no. Sometimes I like to try and hide the joint. There we go.
Yeah, that is
Hit it,
great.
hit a little better. These little tweezers come in really handy on that one there. I will have him with the robe. However, my pose will probably not use this base or the lightsaber or anything else. I just have to await another figure. They are doing Leia from the film, and it is the last moment between Luke and Leia, and Luke.
Pull it up.
Luke gives her
A Charlie horse.
a Charlie horse.
Is that what happened? I forget.
No.
No. Oh, dice.
Hans Dice.
There it is.
That was just a really special moment between the two, and I think I will probably wind up posing the two figures
The Luke and the Leia. Yeah.
together
Cool
with
that
that.
you can do that.
With that moment. I mean, I think a lot of people were like, what the heck's with that accessory? At least, again, I'm going off early scuttlebutt, was, what the heck? But, again, it's something to have.
Yeah, that's
know.
a good piece for I
and
think
that-
for
and
Star
that-
Wars fans specifically.
Yeah, and
because-
that moment was a big deal. Was a big deal for, for them, for fans, for
it was
for
really
the story,
sweet.
for all of it. So that's just another neat piece that the character comes with. Now, we talked about the removing hands and doing anything like that. The arm, the light up arm, okay, that joint there. All right, that one there is going to be obviously right above the bend here. All right, these are always pretty tight and snug. Okay, I'm going to try and pull back a little bit on the fabric. And,
There you go.
well, not quite.
Oh yeah, because it's in there.
Yeah, these are a snug one. And again, without my pliers. I showed you my scissors and didn't grab my
Yeah,
pliers.
we used the pliers.
Yes.
Earlier before.
If anybody in the back has a set of pliers, but they might be gone. Well, that wasn't what I wanted to show you.
Can we do? Can we get a plier check in here? while we're doing
Well,
this?
I think they might be out at the moment. But the nice part is knowing how tight those joints are. That when you do them, they're not going to be loose.
Yeah.
When you interchange it.
Yeah,
I don't. I honestly, even with all of the light up versions, I don't have any of them displayed with it.
No.
No, I have the action thing, but I've normally not done the ones themselves. So thank you, sir.
So there we have it. There it is.
Guy, do you like the boot prints on the base?
There's what I was waiting for. There we go. I was waiting for somebody to ask about the boot print base. Okay, that is a scene that he's a force projection. But we didn't know that.
Yeah.
We didn't know going in that that was what it was. So what I think is interesting is this, to me, it tells me a little bit of, it could tell you a couple things, is he's leaving his footprint.
Yeah.
Okay. But also it shows just the toy industry and how it works. I'm sure that the designers here at Sideshow and Hot Toys and all that, they'll get these wonderful photos and reference things.
Yeah, they get referenced way before.
But they're not going to be told story.
No.
So my bet would be on this is they knew the location and what the planet's surface would look like and knew that Luke was going to be there, but they didn't know this huge reveal that is, he's not on the planet, and went with this molded thing to have him stand at. Now you could say, well, they should have just got rid of it. Well, I'm happy to have it. I'm happy to have it. I think it's great that they did it, and I think that right there looks pretty darn great.
I'm going to get a light check for a second so we can see this. Can I get a light check? That's how I say it with a...
He does, and it's pretty cool when he's...
Is it on?
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, do we have our...
It's a little bright over here. It's by that light. Wow, great. Real nice. You sure it's on?
Come on, you.
Unless we're not picking it up right, which that's embarrassing. I mean, it was obviously a very vibrant light when we were looking at it earlier, but
It was on there before.
it's
I'll
all
have
good.
to...
We'll figure that out. We'll get there.
We'll figure
at
it
some
out.
point
But
in time.
that is how you'll switch him out. He does have a second lightsaber holding hand. That'll be the flesh hand here. That'll go with it. Again, always be. It's made of a soft material, so it can wrap around. I would put it on the saber first, and then
Oh, that's really smart.
put it onto the peg.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay. Anytime I can give it less stress to the joint.
Yeah. Looks like he's posing for his baseball card.
Well, okay. I just quickly threw it on there.
That's the pose you're going to go with, guys.
Yep. You're stuck. That's what you're doing. That is what you're doing. What are people's thoughts on the base? Is anybody?
What if it's Kylo?
You're right. This could be Kylo's. It could be the rebels as they're running out of it.
And it happens to be a nice support for the figure.
Yeah, and it is a nice support for the figure. Okay, so we need to have
We're
it.
not getting a lot of comments on the base, but let us know in the comments.
What do they think about the
What do
base?
you think about the base and the figure as a whole?
I like. I saw a question earlier that had gone across, and I was wondering how you feel. Somebody had asked, how do you personally settle on one pose when characters could have literally dozens of different trademark poses?
Well, I have two answers for that. Is I often buy.
I want one.
I also buy a multiple of them, like the Indiana Jones. I have 5. But that's just me on that one. But that's kind of the fun part about. I mean, that's the reason that we have these versus a static statue or something like that. Is the ability to change them up. So I like to kind of switch them up.
You like that? That's why
I like that. I mean, that's to me that's the reason you have these is the ability to switch them out and to change things around and all of that. So
It seems the footprints are a plus.
okay, good. I think they're great. I love the base. It would have been easy to, the film comes out and they go, oh wow, he's a force projection. His character doesn't leave footprints. You know what? Don't put that in the package. Never mind. I'm glad it's included, and it would have been very easy to go with a standard.
It doesn't hurt it.
No, it doesn't.
Nobody's going to be staring and being like,
Correct.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Hey,
Phil?
that's not, yeah. I can be
No,
scene
it's a toy.
specific, but I like. I'm not going to put the outer robe back on right now because, as we said before, and they tell you in the instructions, when you do that, make sure to remove the wrist. But I'm going to be switching the whole arm out, so I can't just remove the hand. The articulation on the lit one, quite a bit from there.
Oh, there, you just lit it.
There
now
it-
you lit it.
I think yeah, there we go.
There you go.
Keep the lights on.
Now we can do that lights off.
Guy,
Yes.
since you buy
There it is.
multiple of the same figures,
Mm-hmm.
do you pose them in the same room?
No.
No.
Just right. I had to sound really dorky there.
What kind of a collector do you
would I be?
I would put the in the same room.
No, I don't. I wouldn't have them right next to each other. No, I wouldn't. I like that this show, number one, I get to come and play, but it definitely keeps me grounded in who exactly I am as a person.
Oh, I will remind you every single time, guy.
Do you?
He does. Sometimes he calls me at 3 a.m. and goes, "You're kind of a nerd," which is a wonderful phone call to get.
I don't say kind of. I say other words.
But
You gotta
nonetheless.
keep him on his toes. You know?
Yes. Go ahead.
Do you pose the figures throughout the rooms in your house? That as you go from one room to the next, you're walking.
Oh, you mean
through
are they
scenes
in
moving?
different? Yes. The entryway of our place when you come in has a large shelving area as you walk up, and that's the temple scene for
Yeah.
Mindy.
Perfect for robbers.
There you go.
Breaking
and
in
then,
Guy's place. They know where all the good stuff is.
In the room we call our library upstairs is actually the full map room.
That's where you.
Oh,
The
nice.
library is actually where you read all of the instruction manuals.
Yes,
Yes.
that's most of my library is instruction manuals and the Art of Drusen books. There's a ton of them.
Drew Struzan. I don't even know who that is.
Yeah. I actually have those in there.
That was nuts.
that's
Now,
pretty great.
I have a question for you
Yes.
based off of what we have discussed before and you talking about your posing. So, you have this figure. Are you going to just leave it boxed until Leia gets it? Your Leia shows up? Or are you going to put him in the
No,
pose?
I think I'm going to enjoy the figure on the base and that scene there. I liked him in that scene, and then when Leia does come in, I will then change it out.
Okay.
Just because I
wanna get your
that scene
your
was
bang for your buck.
That was a big scene for me, and I think for most fans. But I've always been a huge.
I wonder what Drew Struzan thought of that scene.
I don't know,
Makes
but if
you
he's
think.
still here, can we have him come back?
Kind of makes you think, huh?
Yeah, but that's nifty.
Jeff, Paul would like to know if you can, from now on, do every Unsealed and Revealed using that voice.
Collector voice.
The
collector
collector
voice.
voice.
Of course. Why wouldn't I be destroying my throat every episode? No,
It's for the fans. It's for the fans.
I mean,
For
why
the
we do it.
fans.
they're toy fans. They're not Jeff fans. They are.
They are.
They are.
Because I am
That's
a toy,
a good pose right
I am
there,
a toy
too.
fan, and I'm also a huge Jeff May fan.
This is a really rad pose that you have right now, and it's starting to make me think that this Luke's. It has a lot of opportunities for very good poses. Like this pose is very defiant and very, dare I say, badass.
Yeah.
That he's standing right there, and even putting the blade. Can you put the blade in the saber real quick, but
Yeah.
leave him in that pose? Because like I'm thinking just now, like I wouldn't not have him in this specific pose. Like this in of itself is a rad pose. Spin it.
Spin it.
Spin it, guy. Right? Like I like that pose too.
That's
This
good
is a very
He looks very noble. in
yes,
this pose.
yes. Like the Jedi Knights of old.
Like in this moment, the Force is truly
Yeah.
with him.
And so with this one here, I did swivel a little bit at the hip in the chest joint there.
That's a fighter stance.
Yep. Work with that articulation down at the ankle.
Guy,
I dig it. I
Do
dig the
you-
figure.
do you keep the accessories in the box or near the figure?
No, the only accessories I will keep with the figure is what he's using
with.
there. I don't just kind of have them scattered like, hey, and there's the extra 9 hands.
I'm
or-
ready to fight.
or-
Here's
or
my
something.
collection of hands.
Yeah, or something like that. But no, only with whatever the pose.
That'd be a real warning to Kylo Ren. Luke Skywalker with a necklace of hands.
Exactly. But only what I'm going to need for that pose.
Someone was asking if you would. Do you have a Kylo?
Do we have a Kylo here?
You yourself have a Kylo, Guy.
No.
You don't. But when you do, would you do a battle pose with them?
I am such a huge Han fan that I really don't like that guy. So-
Okay, but he's a fictional character, so.
Yeah, that's true.
I understand what Guy is saying.
But
Sideshow Mel saying that she
so
understands what Guy is saying.
because I'm understood. Thank you. Which is rare that I'm understood.
I don't
To you,
understand.
Guy.
I see you, Guy.
Yes. Thank you. This is
Super
what I was
producer-
hoping for.
Super
producer
producer Sam.
Super producer Sam.
It's okay. Come on in. Come on in, Sam.
Please come on in. Super producer Sam. This is one of Super producer Sam's personal figures.
Actually, yeah.
It is. It is one of his personal figures.
Let's break it. No.
So let's not do that.
This isn't screen accurate.
This is not screen accurate because these are toys. So that's fair. But Kylo, that's a great pose that Sam has him in, by the way.
Yeah.
You should put the dice in his hand. And then he'd be like, I killed my dad for these dice. Other spoilers.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've had an incredible guest, and I will also be walking off set. That's a horrific thing to say. That's a horrific thing to say.
Yeah, well,
That's
so that is the 6 scale Kylo Ren.
Don't
yes,
break it, or you owe me a new one.
yes,
It's crazy how much taller.
yeah. Kylo is,
And he's still squatting a little bit.
but
Well, he was in the Marines.
there you go. You do have both figures to pose with it, which is pretty darn sweet.
Yeah.
But yes, I will be getting a Kylo to go with it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how I'm really feeling
Just
about
have him ragefully watch Luke hug his mother and give her the dice.
that. Yeah.
That'll be it. Just
Yeah.
It'll be like a weird.
Yeah, it's
fan
the
fiction of
here's
him being
the
really
motherly
angry,
love
like,
you'll no longer get you jerk, that kind of thing.
Yes.
So, yeah, I get you. Yeah, makes sense.
Oh, I like darkness. Remember when he said that in the movie? He was like, "Arr."
I like throwing
I
him
like darkness.
by throwing him back on that leg and back into the hip.
I like that voice too, Jeff.
Yeah, "Arr." That's my Kylo Ren. Do you like it? Arr. Snoke.
If there-
Snoke, I thought you said milk. Like you didn't
Remember when Kylo Ren said milk?
Milk does my body good. Okay, so he's very very poseable. We found out that yes, you can remove the cape, and if you so choose, this is what he'll look like.
You're
right,
I'm
Jeff.
really digging on him without the Jedi robe.
Without the-
in spite of the fact that the robe looks incredible.
Yeah.
I like the way that this looks like sort of a matured version of his Return of the Jedi outfit. Like it looks like an older guy version of what he wore in Jedi. If you want to slide over and grab it, but you can.
Melanie, can we show off the Jedi?
I don't see why not.
Okay.
But like,
So I
because
think
like
what you're talking about is he looks like a more mature version.
it is a matured up version of the 6 scale Jedi Luke that we have here. If you see them posing next to each other, and that's actually that's a really good. If you want to zoom in on those faces right there, I like the way that each of them sort of hold up. I really like that, and that's why I think I might not go with the robe. Were I having this on display?
All right, Guy, we have a final question for
Yes.
you. How do you turn the saber on and off?
Saber on and off is inside the. Here we go.
I like how you went over to set it back up.
Set it back up.
We're gonna cut after this.
We're gonna
guys.
cut
We
after
can
this,
put
right?
it-
No, is right under the arm here. You see that? Boom. There we
Oh,
go.
that's cool.
All right.
It's
And as
really
I said,
easy,
that's
yeah.
a pliable material. I mean, obviously, don't yank it back too hard, but it does have give in order for you to get in there with. You're going to need that small screwdriver to change those out, to add the batteries, and that is that's not included in the packaging. I know with some of our other figures we've talked about that it includes some of the tools. This one doesn't have that, so it's time to start your toolkit, folks.
Long run. A question now about the content reel. So Last Jedi, you watched it again. Did you like it more?
I
upon
did.
further
I
viewings?
did.
Yeah.
I did quite a bit more, particularly kind of Luke's journey. I think everyone expects different things out of their heroes
Yes.
or their characters in this. So I think people were expecting Luke to do certain stuff. But we looked at them in episode 3 and how quickly the Jedi were wiped out, and this that, and the other. That these they were more samurai and more priest-like than actual warriors.
Yeah, I
so
think
maybe I think they were. The Jedi wasn't really that. I mean, look, there's all these textbooks that they keep, and this, that, and the other, that I don't necessarily know that fighting and kicking butt was really what they were about.
It's not always
and
wars
I
not
don't
make one great.
exactly, and I
believe
don't
is
think I think he got to a point where he didn't like where some of the teaching had gone,
Yeah.
and then he and Yoda have that discussion. So
It
I
is-
was
it
much
is good.
I was much better with it upon reflection. I think that's something that happens with some of the Star Wars
I actually-
content now that the galaxy keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
I enjoyed it sort of more than I was expecting to in the first run, and I kind of kept that level. Like, I've stayed pretty level, which was a level of decent enjoyment, and liking a lot of the curveballs that came in. So I actually really do like that, and I think that this piece is one of, aesthetically speaking, this is one of my favorite pieces that we've done so far on this show. I think from an aesthetic standpoint, from a posability standpoint, from an accessory standpoint, and from a optional standpoint, from all the different options that you have from him, this might be in my top 3 pieces that we've done so far on this show.
Yeah, he's a very, very neat one to pick up.
I think so. And you
I do.
can pick it up.
Yeah.
If you could check out side.show/Unseal Crait Luke, Crait, Luke. You're going to want to check that out. It is shipping now, I believe.
It is.
I have been informed that it is shipping now, so you can absolutely check that out. I am super, super excited to have been able to bring this piece to you all here, to have Guy here. Special thank you to Guy Klender, 6th scale expert Guy Klender, for all the really great information and poses that you did. Obviously, thank you to Bree on the 1s and 2s, fielding such great questions. Thank you to everybody watching at home for your amazing questions and your participation, and we hope that you keep tuning in every Monday. I love doing this, and special thanks to extra special guest Drew Struzan for dropping by. I'm super excited that happened, and who knows, maybe I'll freak out after we leave here.
Exactly.
Thank you all so much for checking out Unsealed and Revealed. Don't forget to check out all the wonderful stuff that Sideshow has going on right now. We have a fantastic Geeksgiving extravaganza going on. We've got a lot of cool stuff coming for the holidays. So thank you all for watching. Thank you, Guy. Thank you, Bree. Thank you, Drew. And everybody in the cast and crew for making this happen. And don't forget to let your geek side show. All right, bye. Hey, did you like that video? Be sure to subscribe by clicking the S icon on your screen and click that bell icon to be notified whenever a new video is posted. If you'd like more info on the items featured in this video, click the link provided under Product Info. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to let your geek side show.